Hi, I'm Matt with the Plymouth Housing Committee.
And I'm John.
Thank you for tuning in today. John and I would like to discuss with you what the Housing Committee has been up to, working on the zoning amendments that will be put forward in 2024. As you're aware, John, there's a national and local housing shortage, which has created quite the crisis for people in need of a place to live. Because of that, there are state funds available that the town of Plymouth applied for and received a grant to allow for a study to be done to help solve the solution or get closer to solving the solution of housing. A committee was formed, the Plymouth Housing Committee, and they worked in tandem with a planning board to help achieve some of those goals that I think you could talk more of probably.
Absolutely, thank you. So as part of this project, the Housing Committee has been working with Barrett Planning Group, and we've gone through several phases of analysis at this point. We've done a housing needs analysis, which is available on the website for everyone to take a look at, as well as a regulatory audit looking at what the barriers are to creating more housing in Plymouth. And then at this point, we're in the regulatory change phase, where we're looking to make zoning amendments and make actual impactful changes that can hopefully allow more housing to be built in Plymouth. One of the issues that we've struggled with in looking through these issues is that the single-family detached house that many people so cherish and that marks a lot of our lives has become very much unaffordable to many average families out there. And this is one of the struggles we've had in trying to figure out how to move forward. So at this point, the Planning Board, working with the Housing Committee, has come up with several zoning amendments, amendments to change our zoning ordinance that can hopefully address some of these issues. And just to step back for a moment, so the zoning ordinance is this legally binding document that regulates land use, how we develop properties in town here in Plymouth. And so the zoning ordinance, for those unfamiliar, is a document that's legally binding that regulates land use in a town. And it is the document that regulates what people can do with their land to develop housing, businesses, and so forth. And so we're looking to make changes to that document that will make it easier for developers to create more housing. And so what we plan to do in the next several videos that we're creating today is to outline some of these amendments. Sometimes these amendments can be difficult to understand. Some of it's in complex technical language. And so sometimes members of the public have a hard time finding an entry point to kind of fully understand what it is we're trying to achieve with these amendments. So hopefully these videos can help the public better understand. And before turning it back to Matt, for those of you who have attended some of our community meetings, you may be aware that there are certain changes that we've talked about that you might not see in the zoning amendments that we proposed for this year. And those include a housing overlay for the Tenny Mountain area, as well as an inclusionary zoning ordinance, which would give bonuses to developers for creating affordable housing. And we've done a lot this year, and we all thought it would be best to not overburden the public as well as ourselves by doing too much in one year. And so those are still very much on our radar, but we decided not to put them forward for this year. So Matt, would you like to tell us a bit more about the timeline going forward?
Certainly, thank you, John. So December 7th at 6:30 at Town Hall, we'll be holding the first public hearing, which will review these amendments, proposed amendments, and allow the members of the public to share their thoughts and opinions on these. We highly encourage everyone show up to these meetings that have any interest or any input or any opinion whatsoever. There'll be two public hearings. The first one is December 7th at 6:30 p.m. upstairs in Town Hall. And the second one is January 4th, also at 6:30 p.m. at Town Hall upstairs. Once again, we encourage everyone to attend that has any thoughts, opinions, or input for the members of the planning board.
If after watching these videos, you still have more questions and need more clarification, I encourage you to go to the Town of Plymouth website. There you can go to the projects page for the housing study, and you will find lots of information about all the work we've been doing this past year. And if you go to the planning board page, you will find the full text of the public hearing notice describing each of these amendments, as well as the full text of the amendments themselves, if you really want to dive deep to learn more about these amendments. We look forward to seeing you at these public hearings, hearing what you have to say. Your voice is really important in this process. Thank you so much.
Thank you.